Hi, this is Mike. So I guess in the quiz you answered that you sometimes have carb cravings. So this is a really interesting topic, and you're not going to believe what gets you here. But the truth is that carb cravings usually are from a what's called a Candida albicans, or it's a fungus, and it's actually has an overrun. So Candida, the fungus Candida albicans, will overgrow in your intestines and colon if your beneficial bacteria are too far out of whack. And so it's an unhealthy cycle because once you have carb and sugar and pastry and pasta cravings, you keep feeding that fungus overrun. And so it's kind of a significant issue, and it causes a bunch of peripheral issues like poor nutrition because um, the carbohydrates aren't typically your highest nutrition foods. So this is kind of the way it works. Your stomach really only has two signals to you that it can consciously contact you and send to you. And one is hunger, and the other is not hunger. And the trouble with the hunger signal is it doesn't necessarily mean you're hungry or your body's hungry. It means your body is lacking in nutrition. So if you have a lot of, first of all, if you have carb cravings, which you mentioned, the solution is a product called Candida Balance, which has two factors. Number one, it has a probiotic that tends to um, encourage your good bacteria to begin multiplying much more rapidly. It also has some anti-parasitic, antifungal ingredients that will suppress the Candida albicans overrun that you are definitely experiencing if you have these sugar and carb cravings. So when you kind of understand that your stomach can only tell you it's hungry or not. If you have poor nutrition absorption because your gut is filled with a fungal infection, then you're not going to be eating the right foods and you're not going to be absorbing your nutrients. So we kind of go at this from I like to think of it as three different angles. One is the second you get the overrun under control, so let's say you've consumed maybe a whole bottle of the Candida Balance. Now your gut lining is ready to see what. Okay, now what are we gonna replace this fungal infection with? Because it was filled with that. These infections, to give you an idea, can amount to pounds, multiple pounds. Your beneficial bacteria is 7 pounds roughly in a healthy person. And so when you have an infection, you can have multiple pounds of a fungus inside you. I know it's gross, but you kind of have to understand what you're dealing with. So we use the Candida Balance to suppress this overrun. And then we always recommend a macro greens, a drink that has this full vitamin and nutrition and mineral spread, a broad spectrum. It's all organic type freeze dried vegetables and converted to a green drink that you can make real quick and easy. So you take care of the nutritional aspect from all this damage and poor nutrition uptake with the macro greens. The Candida Balance is what suppresses that infection. And then the minute you finish that bottle or two of Candida Balance, you have to reseed your garden, so to speak. And the best probiotic to do that is Rachel's Pro 100 because it's full broad spectrum, 10 varieties. The IU count is the highest in existence. It's what we insisted on when we wanted to formulate it. And it has 100 billion IU count. And I've paid up to $100 for IU counts of as small as 20 billion IUs. And I used to think that was a great number. So the Candida Balance first to start suppressing, beating back that fungus. Secondly, the macro greens to make sure you're uptaking the nutrition you need while your system is so vulnerable like that. And thirdly, the minute you finish the Candida Balance, you start on the Pro 100s to make sure you don't just grow another fungal infection, or that the bad bacteria and the good bacteria in your gut have equal footing and both regrow in large proportions. You want to choose what grows in your gut and try to get back to that youthful type of bacteria that you had when you could eat like a goat and tin cans and spicy food, nothing bothered you. You could just eat and everything was great. And now you wonder why it's not. Well, those are 3 things that'll help you get back there. So give those a try and you're going to be really pleased with the results.